Are you a PhD or doctoral student that's stressed out about your dissertation? Are you struggling to get through, to finish, or even to get started? Hi, I'm Dr. Lori Barker, and I'm here to give you some practical tips for how to survive your dissertation. Now, I was once in your shoes. I have my PhD in clinical psychology. Now, that was a long time ago, but some of the same lessons still apply. So some of these tips come from my own experience, but also I'm a university professor. So I also work with students who are doing research. And as a therapist in my private practice, I've also had several graduate students as clients where sometimes our sessions turn into more like dissertation coaching sessions. So again, the tips I'm sharing with you today are based on all that experience, my own experience, plus the experiences of my students and my clients. So here are my best tips. Number one is that your dissertation is really just another assignment. I know that might sound crazy because people put so much stock into the dissertation. Oh, it's got to be the best work of your life. Well, no, that's not true. It's a big assignment, and it probably is the most important assignment that you've ever done in your educational career. But it's still just something on the checklist of things that you need to get done in order to graduate. And the reality is your best work is going to be done after you get your doctorate, after you finish graduate school and you move on to the rest of your career. That's when you're going to make your most significant contributions. Now, I did my dissertation, and back in those days, they used to actually print them out and bind them like a book. So I think my dissertation is sitting on some library shelf somewhere gathering dust. I don't know if anybody's ever read it or cited it. I doubt it. I have no idea. However, I did work with my dissertation advisor as a postdoc to get 2 publications out of my dissertation. But I think it's helpful to remember or to try to treat the dissertation as just another assignment, and remember that you will actually do your best work and make your most significant contributions after you get out of graduate school. But to get there, you do have to finish the dissertation. So that moves to my second tip, which is just do it. Just get it done. That's the Nike slogan, right? And it works in this situation. Just do it. Now you might be saying, that's exactly what I'm struggling with. I can't get it done. So I think it's helpful to think of it this way. Just make progress every day. And that progress might look different. It might mean writing a sentence, might mean writing a whole paragraph or a whole page. Or maybe it means reading one article, summarizing that article, or reading a chapter or 2 in a book and summarizing the main points from those chapters in that book. So making progress just means getting something done related to your dissertation every day. Along with that, I say, just write. Just write. It doesn't have to come out perfect. Sometimes we get stuck, right? You've heard the saying, the paralysis of analysis. Sometimes we're overthinking and we can't even start getting the words out and onto the page or onto the screen. But just start. It can be stream of consciousness. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to be well organized. Just get something on the page. Because once you have something on the page, then it's easier to go back and to edit, right? It's easier once you have something concrete there that you can work with. Now, one thing that was helpful for me is I set the goal of making progress or of writing for at least 1 hour every single day. Often that 1 hour turned into more because once I got past that hump and just sat down and started working, telling myself, okay, I'm just going to do at least an hour. Most of the time that turned into more than an hour. Sometimes it turned into 2 hours, 4 hours. And I ended up being more productive than I expected. But I made that commitment every single day. Well, actually, I took 1 day off a week. I would take a Sabbath rest. So from sundown Friday to sundown Saturday, I committed not to do any work, right? And that was helpful to take that rest, to take that break. But Sunday through Friday during the day, I made the commitment at least 1 hour. And as I said, a lot of times that turned into more than 1 hour. I got more done, right? And if I did that every single day, then it felt good because I was able to see myself making progress. Even if it was baby steps, I was at least still making progress. Another tip is to just stay focused. It's really easy to get lost in the weeds, to go down that rabbit hole, to spiral downward, right? All of those metaphors, or as I described it before, the paralysis of analysis. So staying focused means trying to avoid getting caught in that spiral. So for example, it's easy to do that with the literature review, right? Because you read one article, that leads you to 4 articles, that leads you to 10 articles. And again, you just keep going and it seems never ending because you feel this pressure like, oh, I have to find every single article that was ever written on any topic tangentially related to my topic. Or I have to find every single book. I have to make sure I've read every single book that's related to my topic. Well, that's not realistic, and it's not even necessary. The literature really has to be a representative sampling of the work in your major topic areas. Make sure, yes, that you found the classic works, the seminal works in that area, and then a sampling to give your reader, to give your committee an idea of, the main thoughts or the main work that's been done in the areas related to your topic. So, the lit review is an example of how it's easy to spiral or to get lost in the weeds and where it's helpful to stay focused. So what's a strategy for helping you stay focused? It can be helpful to think of your thesis statement for your dissertation. What is the main point that you're trying to make in your dissertation? And see if you can write that in one sentence. It's sort of like doing a mission statement for your dissertation, right? What's my main goal? What's my main objective? What's the main idea I want people to get from reading my dissertation? And see if you can write that in one sentence. That's going to take some work, might take some time. You might start with a whole list of bullet points or ideas, but see if you can keep narrowing that down. Find the theme or the thread that connects all those ideas and write it down. So you might want to type it and print it out. You might want to put it on a note card or on a Post-it, and then put it next to your primary workspace, right? So put it up on the wall next to your computer, or put it as the home screen on your laptop, but put it somewhere where you can refer to it. So if you find yourself getting lost in the weeds and going down that death spiral, take a look at your thesis statement, at your mission statement for your dissertation, and refocus. Use that to ground yourself and to give yourself direction. Because if whatever you're working on is not directly related to that main thesis statement, then let it go. That is not something that you need to spend your time working on. And remember, you are the expert on your topic. Now, I know it might not feel like that. You might be suffering from some imposter syndrome. That's a topic for another video. But if you're looking at your dissertation advisor and thinking, oh, they're the expert in the area, or members of your committee, well, they are experts in their areas. But chances are, if you've had a topic approved by your advisor, by your committee, it means it's something unique. And keep that in mind. Think, what is it that I'm trying to say? What is the contribution that I am trying to make to my field? And believe in yourself. Believe that you do have something valuable to say, that you do have the ability to make a significant contribution. So again, when you start doubting yourself, you start struggling, you get paralyzed, think about the why. Why am I writing this? Right? That's actually another point, right? Yes. What am I trying to say? What contribution am I trying to make? But why? Right? What's the why for my dissertation? What's the meaning behind me doing all of this? Why am I even in graduate school? Why am I doing a PhD? These seem like big existential questions, but these are the big questions that can help refocus you and help motivate you, give you that energy and that drive that you're going to need to be able to make it to the finish line. Remember Nike's slogan, just do it. In the end, the dissertation just has to be done, because that's what's going to get you to the bigger goal of earning your PhD and moving on to the rest of your career. So you can do this. I believe in you. I believe that you can do it. And I hope this encouraged you in some way to believe in yourself, to get the motivation and the inspiration that you need to make it to that finish line. Thanks so much for listening. Again, I hope these tips were helpful, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.